Oh, I killed it. I killed myself. And that's when I blow it.
You know what? How about I go ask the tough fry? Thanks.
What's your
Tommy
name?
won't weenie.
Helen. You look like a Helen. Helen, let me tell you why I suck as a salesman.
Don't judge me.
Oh, Kylo.
This is the most realistic figure I have now.
So, did they film with this one?
No, I think I'm going to get the Funko of him and put them next to each other.
Just staring at each other? Just make it so he's... Turn the head so he's just like...
I mean, maybe I could... Maybe if I do the lighting just right, I can make it look like they're almost looking down and sad at each other. Like, one's like, wow, you look like a fucking emo bitch. What the fuck? You have to figure out who's who.
We know each other. I know you. I wish I didn't.
You're what I see in the mirror every day.
No.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's awesome. Fucking Darth Maul, too. Man.
Oh, yeah. So, we got... Oh, he's gone. We got, from left to right, the main ones.
Yeah.
Darth Revan.
Yep.
Darth Nihilus.
Nihilus, yep.
In the back is an Imperial Senate Guard.
Yep, the blow. And you don't have a red one yet.
Maul.
That's awesome.
The Emperor, of course, Palpatine. Vader. And the back, I believe, is Dengar. Dengar. And then IG-88.
Yeah, I see IG-88.
Well, over there.
Yeah, okay.
In the back of Vader is Dengar, the other bounty hunter.
Yep.
In the back of IG-88 is a Sith trooper.
Yeah.
And then next to him is the Imperial pilot, yep. And then your head's in the way. Kylo Ren. And then the the dark side version of Rey. Oh, and then Starkiller, the Sith Stalker Starkiller, and then Bosk, the two smaller ones up there. That's dirty. It's very dirty.
This is why I never had action figures.
It's very dirty.
Why do they always end up touching themselves?
Or each other. Oh, my God.
Oh, shit.
And then...
Figure out how I'm going to pose this guy.
And then, still yet to come, the last of the group for now. I got the Bosk, the full size. I got...
Oh, yeah.
What else?
Oh, did you see that video of Nihilus I sent you?
I did,
the
but
Force absorber?
Yeah.
How
He
you look
absorbed entire planets.
Yeah.
Because that's what Nihilus means, is hunger. But yeah, that's why he's Darth Nihilus. I mean, he was we're gonna geek out right off the bat here.
Yeah, sorry.
He
Wait,
he would.
I wonder if it's anatomically correct. Oh God, it is.
Oh,
wait. Oh, sorry, folks at home. That's a story we can't tell.
no, that one stays in the bag.
Yep. That stays in the grave. With death.
If you know.
Oh, if you know, you know. Yep. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but I did see the video of Darth Nihilus.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, oh shit, I bet you'd find this one interesting.
No. He was created indirectly. Well, I mean, I guess directly from Darth Revan.
Yeah. Sorry. Whatever. Leave me alone.
We'll take it out for show and tell later. Oh, yeah, and then the Spock, the Carbonite Spock.
Yeah, I saw that.
Carbonite, that actually looks really good. Carbonite Dobby and then Carbonite Slave Leia. And then the background Death Star window thingy. And then the chair, his throne. All 3D printed. I was like, oh, these are actually pretty decent.
You sent me the picture, and I was like, oh, that is pretty bad.
They turned out pretty decent.
Oh, his hands can't touch each other. I was going to have him dual wield the lightsaber.
Oh, well, it can't dual wield it. You can hold it with two hands.
Oh, wait, hold on. That's what I meant. That's what I want. Let it go. Let it go.
Drop it.
Yo, that's your figure.
People's.
I don't want to break it.
Oh, you see?
There we go.
Did you see the new director that they got for the whole Ray series? I'm pretty sure I sent that to you.
Oh, with the Pakistani woman?
Yeah, whatever her name is.
It's my job to make men uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think I just made half of our fan base uncomfortable with that accent.
Listen, if they've watched Simpsons, they've heard it before.
Yeah. Thank you. Come again.
Yeah, so now they're going to throw her into the mix. And right off the bat, I've already gone out of this whole rant with Ray before. And the reason why at least me anyway, didn't connect with her. You killed it.
He's drunk with power.
You killed your sale.
All right, I'm stopping. I promise. I'm done. Wait, he's going to fall. There. Okay. Done.
But now, yeah, so like Ray was just way overpowered.
Oh, God.
No one cared. And like still nobody cares about her. Now they're going to do a whole trilogy with the new Jedi Order with Ray centered around it. And my question is, like, well, who's going to be the bad then? Like,
how is she going to make men uncomfortable? Unless she molests children in that video, there's nothing she can do that I'll be impressed with or made to feel uncomfortable.
You telling me this is going to be a prequel sequel to Sound of Freedom?
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, at $150 billion a year, the Empire was the largest consumer of alien pedo porn, if that makes sense.
Might work.
And guess what just became the number one searched item on Pornhub? Alien pedo porn.
Star Wars alien pedo porn. Jeez Louise.
Hey there, baby Wookie. Don't tell Chewbacca.
Don't tell Chewie. This is our little secret. Helen Keller? Oh, Wookie. It's not funny. It's not funny, YouTube. Speaking of YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got episode 42 taken down.
And we're at what? Over 200 now?
No, it was 115 or 16 or something like that. I don't know.
Be right back.
Be right back. After these messages, we'll be right.
And I guess we're back after that little seizure.
Yeah, it sure is. That's where that's where I know.
Look for the stroke.
That's where I'll put it.
Geeking stroke. Fucking politina.
What?
Whatever.
You just had one too.
Yep. I stroked off there for a second.
Anyway, so Star Wars fans fear franchise is going woke, which it already has. It's already gone that way. But after feminist director is hired. Yeah. So the Star Wars fans fear feminist director. Shermeen Obaid Shinoy, 45. Is
SOS. Wait a minute.
SOC.
Oh, I thought it was SOS. Like, they did plan this. Send out ship. Save us from this bitch.
Is the first female to oversee one of the Disney-made movies. Double Oscar winner Shreem SOS will work on stuff. That wasn't supposed to sound racist, but boy, it did, didn't it?
It wasn't me this time, fucker.
Well, YouTube.
Gotta take this episode down, too. We might as well start talking about messengers.
Yeah. Double Oscar winner will work on Star Wars New Jedi Order, but she has come under fire from fans online. The double Oscar winner. Let me open up the actual. Double Oscar winner, best known for hard-hitting documentary films highlighting gender inequality against women, is working on Star Wars New Jedi Order. So you fucking already know where this is going to go. You already know. Wonderful. This is magical. I love it. I love that they're fucking raping my favorite franchise.
I've got money. Palpatine comes back.
If they do, they've bastardized the ending of they've bastardized the ending of Palpatine twice then, because he got killed off in 6, which that should have been the end.
Return of the Jedi.
That should have been the end of him, and they brought him back only because J.J. Abrams, and I only give him half fault for this, because J.J. Abrams, Reen whatever Johnson, killed off Snoke in Episode 8. Wasn't supposed to happen. He set it up for Snoke to be the next big bad.
Yeah.
Cool. And then Johnson took it in his own direction. No, we're not doing that. And he killed him off. And then they brought Abrams back because that got such, like, it got scrutinized so bad from the fan base. By the way, it's got a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. How in the holy fuck is that better than Phantom Menace has like a 52?
Let's be honest, though. Let's be honest.
How is
padding the numbers?
Like if you were like, okay, Phantom Menace is, we'll say 52. At the best, if you were gonna make it higher, I'd put it at 53. But like if it was 60, okay, fine, I can see that because this day and age we're in. And the regular fan, they're not gonna know any better. Fine, but to put it at 90,
keep ranting.
It's like 2 points lesser than the first Star Wars. I think it's like 92. I think Return of the Jedi's 94, or Empire's 94. Returns like 89 or 88. But that's 90. Anyway, I digress. So J.J. Abrams, go ahead.
Who owns Warner Brothers?
What do you mean? Who owns Warner Brothers?
Is Warner Brothers its own thing?
No, most of them aren't.
Who owns it?
I don't know, but you're going to tell me.
Okay, hold on one second. Who owns
Warner? Did you want me to look it up?
I got it. Warner Brothers Studios complex in Burbank, California, and is a subsidiary of Warner Brothers Discovery.
Okay.
Founded in 1923. Disney does not own Warner Brothers or Lionsgate.
But you should look up who owns the most stock or the most shares in Warner Brother.
Okay.
How it's traded. Because that could have just as much of an effect.
Owns the most stock.
It's probably BlackRock or
in
JP
Warner
Morgan
Brothers. What'd you say?
BlackRock or JP Morgan?
Vanguard Group, BlackRock, State Street Corp, Vanguard.
Okay, so
what is BlackRock?
BlackRock is BlackRock is buying up right now a lot of and this is where they're getting a lot of scrutiny.
Ooh, good for that.
Yeah. This is where they're getting a lot of scrutiny. They're buying up a lot of houses. That's one of the problems. Refurnishing them and then renting them. That's one of those entities that's doing things like that.
Well, Rotten Tomatoes is owned by Flickster. Flickster is owned by Warner Brothers.
All right.
So I think it's funny.
Yeah, but Warner Brothers has nothing to do with the Star Wars franchise.
I know. But for somebody who has... But Flickster owns Rotten Tomatoes. Warner Brothers owns Flickster.
Right.
So, if so facto... What's that from? If so facto, you work for me. Oh, Dodgeball. You work for the bank. Bank works for me. If so facto. Wait, what? Ben Stiller?
Yeah. But anyway.
A part of me thought Disney owned Rotten Tomato, and I'm like, well, that makes sense why the rating's so high.
No.
Dude, I don't know. To be honest with you, you know what it's going to turn out to be? It's going to turn out to be some sort of fucking, let's make this as... Honestly, at this point, I don't think it's so much Disney is intentionally sabotaging themselves. They are trying to check off as many boxes as possible.
Oh, yeah, I know that. Like I say hyperbolically, it's like, no, they're trying to murder because their stock right now is tanking my portfolio. That's just personally. But their stock was at its peak when I am invested in it. It was up at like $181 a share.
Yeah.
Like I was killing it. And then a couple of years ago, a year and a half ago, they really started pushing this woke thing. their stock now is down to, well, let me see.
Maybe it's time for me to get in some Disney.
Now you buy the dip. Because
get up all into that Snow White and the 7 dwarfs.
But going all the way back, they're going to bastardize that death. And so then they brought him back, or J.J. Abrams brought him back because they had no fucking idea what to do after Rian Johnson killed off Snoke. Yeah. So they brought him back, which completely just wiped away the importance of Anakin's 6-movie story arc, turning from light to dark to light again. Completely just wiped that away. And then Rey killed him. I am all the Jedi. And if they bring him back again, that is proof 150% positive that there is no creativity in Disney or in Hollywood for that matter. That's the biggest problem, I think, with Star Wars right now, is with most of these shows that they have out now, there's one show that Disney has put out, one movie, one show and one movie, we'll say, that Disney's put out since acquiring it that has been, wow, this is different, good for them. One, the movie was Rogue One, because that told an already expansive world that's been established, but a story that hasn't been told yet. How the hell did the rebels get those plans?
Yes.
And they explained it. Good for them. And that was good. It stayed within the Star Wars universe, but expanded on something that nobody fucking knew. And they did it originally, and it was fucking good.
See,
I had such high hopes. The show is Mandalorian. Because again, it took an idea of what's going on in the Star Wars universe, of the Mandos, and expanded on it with new characters, new like IG-11, which is the assassin droid that they fucking and that showed, like, because everyone saw IG-88, but no one's actually, I mean, unless you've read the comics and everything, like, now I'm ranting, like, you didn't know, like, he looks kind of clunky, like, what the hell's IG-88 gonna do? And no one really understood that, like the normie fan. But then in IG-11, they show him the first season in action, and he fucking slaughters everybody in that scene.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's like, wow, fuck, he's dangerous. But they did all stuff like that, and like, and they introduced the Darksaber. I keep cutting you off. But.
No, it's okay. And I like how in the first season, no, the second season, you see Luke.
Yeah,
it's a cameo. Well, it's a quick in, quick out. They didn't go into it too much, and literally they made it really. I liked that part of the show, particularly it'll always be one of my favorite parts of the genre of that series, that show, and I still watch it because it's literally it shows, it connects it in an essence other than the Boba Fett saga.
Oh, good. Look, Disney's up. Look at that, fucking $90 a share. It was like 88 or 89.
So it shows that Luke is there. It shows it's connected in an essence.
Right.
And what's he do? He takes Grogu for training. And then Grogu's like, I want to leave. And what happens? You get that fully cyclical scene where Luke Skywalker says, if you leave now, you can't finish your training. What did Yoda say to him?
Yeah, same thing, but
and that was it. That was it. Grogu left, went with Mando, and that was it. You never hear high hell tail or anything.
No, then in the
Luke anymore.
In the third season, they went back and got him, didn't they? I haven't watched the third season yet because that's after I was just done with Disney.
No,
but
Grogu's already back.
I'll disagree with the Luke thing for Mandalorian because they already showed with oh no, I guess I can't even say that because they had Vader in the end of that, but that made sense. At Rogue One, I was gonna say they showed you when Disney does stuff like that. All it tells me is we're not confident in what we're doing. We have to bring in fan service, which was the biggest problem with the sequel trilogy I had with when J.J. Abrams did Episode 7. He did Episode 7 and he played it really safe, which I was willing to accept and go with. But it was literally the same fucking story. As 4. It was this empire, which I'll break this shit down, complain about all of it, but it was an empire, this nobody farm girl boy, whatever, that gets discovered by somebody And then she has power. She wants to get out and do whatever fuck she knows she has more purpose than what she is or whatever. And then there's this mega base that's this ultimate weapon, and then this small band of rebels goes and fights them and blows up the base and whatever.
Yeah.
The problem is, I mean, all right, I got so many fucking thoughts right now. But so J.J. Abrams plays it super safe. Again, I was like, fine, okay, you built the beginning foundation, I guess, of what you're gonna do. So you had new characters, you had different story arc with like the villain, and but we have kind of like establishment of characters. Fine, what direction are we going in? Then Ryan Johnson comes in, and he just fucking, it's like a kid in a candy store. They're just like, all right, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. When the kids are going all over and throwing candy everywhere, and the factory shop is just like, he's fucking singing and shit. Like, what the fuck's going on? But everyone that's watching, every adult that's watching is like, boy, that's a big mess to clean up. Every fucking fan that watches Star Wars Episode 8 is like, Jesus Christ, this is a big fucking mess to clean up. So in comes, they realize, fuck, this is not getting good reception. Luke Skywalker takes the lightsaber and chucks it over his fucking shoulder when Rey gives it to him. They end Episode 7 giving the lightsaber. Boy, that was a choked up moment. Luke's back. And then Episode 8, he takes it and fucking chucks it like a comedy skit and walks off. That's not fucking Luke Skywalker.
No.
And he's like, I quit. But like, I gave up the Jedi. If anyone knows anything about the Star Wars lore, that is not Luke Skywalker. At all. That's not who he is. That's not what he does. But that's where we're at. So then they fuck up there. They come in Episode 9. Here comes J.J. Abrams back. Now he's got to fucking, all right, shit. I started to build something, handed the reins off to someone else. They drove the fucking thing off a cliff. Now we got to fucking fashion a parachute together real quick before we hit rock bottom. So, safe bet, bring back the Emperor, because everyone knows him. And you have to do it in one movie. You can't, like, establish, all right, we're going to bring in Thrawn this time. Or we're going to bring in fucking whoever the fuck. I mean, you can't. It looks like they're going to make Kylo Ren the bad guy. But he was already bested in the first movie by Rey. Yeah. I don't believe he's going to beat Rey. Like, Rey, the first time she has a lightsaber fight, which the lightsaber fucking battles are garbage, mind you. We went from Episode 1, 2, and 3, where they're just, I understand it was the height of the Republic and the Jedi and everything, and the lightsaber battles were fucking phenomenal. And then in the original trilogy, like, all that had died out. I get it. Like, the Jedi ways were dead. There was no Jedi left, really. And it was Darth Vader. This is like the only real lightsaber wielder. I mean, Sidious, but he doesn't use it. He carries he carries a lightsaber to mock the Jedi. That's the only reason he does it. Darth Vader is the only lightsaber user. So I understand the lightsaber battles aren't going to be crazy because Luke doesn't have anybody to train against with a lightsaber. He's got a droid.
Especially when you find out, I hate to cut you off really quick, there's two things I want to note in that statement you just said. By the time Episode 4 comes around, I mean... it
had been 19 years later.
At one point, one of the guys says, that outdated religion or the outdated faith you have.
So they already established it in the first movie.
That they've already laid the groundwork that this was a dying... This died.
Yeah.
Stop trying to keep at it. I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Right.
He chokes him, and fast forward. Luke Skywalker, when he gets a lightsaber, he's just got a droid that's going to shoot bolts at him. He's not testing up against anybody. Right. The only thing I didn't like about that is you find out in lore, no. Legends. Or canon. Fuck, what is it? I can't remember. One of them tells you that Obi-Wan Kenobi had mastered like 4 or 5 different lightsaber trainings.
Yeah, there's 7 forms. I think he was a master of, I think Form 4 was the defensive one.
He was master of 4 and 5.
That's the reason, is because the defensive fight style back in the Republic, this is getting really fucking geeky now, but the defensive lightsaber style back in the Republic days is the only kind they had, because they didn't have to battle Sith all the time, because to them, before Sidious appeared, there was no Sith. They had been gone for 1,000 years.
Yep.
There was no Sith.
So you didn't
there was
need to
no
know the
reason. They
rest.
were just basically the police officers of the
Yeah.
galaxy, of the Republic.
But he had learned 4 and 5 because actually you find out.
I think he was proficient in all 7 styles, but he fell back to 4 all the time. I think when he fought Anakin, that
He uses a move from 5. It's a forbidden move
it's an aggressive move. That's why.
because it's actually an attack. And
Well,
if
Jedi can attack. There's been a lot of Jedi that have used like Form 7 as being one.
Well,
Form
if you
1
look-
nobody uses because that's the oldest. Anyway, go ahead.
if you look into it, there's a flick trick he does with his wrist in that scene, which is why the lightsaber and Anakin's legs get cut off.
Oh, the very last.
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
If you haven't seen episode 3 yet, oh, you're in for a shocker.
You're only 20 years behind.
No, that's a forbidden move because that move was designed to remove the limb of your opponent.
But in Obi-Wan's defense, he did warn him.
I have the high ground. He did say, and he was like,
I'll do it.
and that's where Anakin says, "You underestimate my powers." And he's like, "You can't overpower something that gave you your power."
Well, he didn't give him his power.
No. I don't mean Obi-Wan. I meant the techniques that were designed with the Force.
Well, yeah.
And if the Force gave Anakin his power, you can't beat what gives you what you got.
What was I talking about? All the way back.
Fast forward, lightsaber battles not being as bad.
All right, yeah. All right, so the Republic, they were like fantastic, and so all that had died out. So adding that to the original trilogy is understandable why the lightsaber battles weren't as crisp and clean as they were back in
as artsy flipsy as they were in 1, 2, and 3.
But here we go. From episode 6 to 7, we have, especially now with Disney Plus and all the shows they're putting out and all the new canon that they're putting out. And even if you want to go past canon legends, there were so many stories of the new Empire, or the new Jedi Order, I mean, that came out, the new training, the new batch of Jedi that they were training. These styles all should have been back, or at least on the way back. How is it that somehow in the new movies, the Jedi, especially, and maybe, okay, we'll give Rey a pass because she just picked up a lightsaber, but how the fuck is Kylo Ren? Their swings are like, like they're swinging a fucking broadsword or a claymore. It's like when we hold the giant.
It doesn't look that heavy.
Like when we hold the great sword on your shoulder, like an
Elden Ring.
Yeah. Like they're swinging it like it weighs 58 pounds. I don't understand. There's supposed to be this long gap of time in between the movies. Someone should have trained something. And then Snoke at one point is like, I've trained you so long. But it was like, boy, your fucking training is garbage if that's the case. Like, I taught you how to put on a mask and swing like Barry Bonds, and that's about my fight style. It's a Form 8 called bullshit. But that's one of the problems of continuity. And as far as world building goes, which is really what this whole rant started with, the new sequel trilogy has zero world building, or galaxy building for that matter. In the original trilogy, when every planet they went to, you just felt like there was life on that planet. Things were going on off camera everywhere.
Oh yeah,
even Hoth. There's like there's a lot of with the Wampas. Like there's a lot of shit in this planet. It's dangerous.
The big snowman.
When they go to Mos Eisley spaceport in the first one, and you see all the different life and the ships coming in and ships going out.
Basically
you
like
knew
a hub.
that there's a lot of stuff going on in this world. In other worlds, in this new one, they had none of that at all.
No, you have a fucking casino.
That was. They blew up. Here's the biggest tell that they had none of that. They blew up 5 planets. 5 fucking planets in the movie. And no, it had like, if they cut that whole scene out, it wouldn't have mattered. Because I didn't feel like it was bad or anything like that. It felt nothing.
Jesus.
What you got?
Oh, nothing. Sorry.
So
got my hoes owing me money.
yeah, there was no building of any worlds or anything. Like I just felt, and it also felt you didn't know the expansiveness of this new what was it called? Not the Empire, the
First Order.
Yeah, the First Order. They could have been just this massive new empire, or it could have been this little faction thing that ran 5 fucking planets.
And let's be honest,
And there was no.
they used repetitive scenery. Ray comes from a desert planet.
That's what I mean. He played it super safe.
Kylo Ren and Rey's first fight, snow, where someone almost dies. Jungle scene, obtaining of knowledge, in that bar in the jungle where the woman the woman with the crazy eyes, gives Rey the lightsaber.
Maz Tanada or Tanaka.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I know.
Tough acting, to acting, take your pick.
It's the fucking there again. I don't even remember her name. And then with her, she has Anakin's or Obi-Wan or
Luke Skywalker's, yeah.
Luke's original lightsaber, and is like, oh, how'd you get that? Ooh, this is gonna be a good story. Good story for another time. What? And then we never get that.
Oh
we
my
never got the story.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, and so did the fucking directors apparently and the writers. Oh yeah,
that's now that you're making it so fucking noticeable. Damn.
That's the problem. Is if you watch them, like if you're the regular casual normie just moviegoer, none of this means anything, or very few of it means anything.
No, but the fact
but
that
like if you're a fucking fan of the franchise, of Legends, of canon, of all whatever, and you pay attention to this stuff, it's like, man, this script is like fucking Swiss cheese got shot with buckshot or birdshot. It can't get any more whole. Oh, there's another one.
Didn't think we'd find another hole. Apparently we did.
But geez, like wow. And then going all the way back to this new director, it's like, well, we're having a feminist who
I enjoy making men uncomfortable.
Who directed documentaries on how women are whatever the fuck. I was like, okay, and there it is. And you already know where it's going to go. It's like, so we're taking a franchise that has clearly Disney has no fucking direction for this. They're just doing whatever. And we're just going to push forward. We're just doubling, tripling, quadrupling down. And I was like, your fans are just... But then, here's the thing. Then you have Andor. Yeah, Andor, the show on Disney+. Evidently, I just watched the first episode. Evidently, that's fantastic. But, and the first episode was good. But here's the problem again. They're doing this with a character that was a side character in Rogue One that everyone fucking forgot about. Like nobody. This isn't like
Andor.
In Rogue One.
I don't know the character from Rogue One. Which character?
It was the guy, the one that had the sniper rifle, was going to pick off.
Not
Jen.
Yes.
Galen Erso.
Yes.
Him. It was supposed to like. It's a show. He has his own series. Like what? Why don't we just give fucking R4D5 or R5D4 his own fucking show?
How about the Ewoks?
They had 2 movies, but people like the Ewoks. They had 2 fucking movies.
Yeah.
Ewoks are fun.
The furry community loved the Ewoks.
I'm part of it. I own them.
I
do own them.
I may have beaten my meat like it owes me money.
So Andor's supposed to be really good. So I'm still in the process of watching that. First episode was good. It was different. It was dark and gritty. I was like, wow, geez.
Oh shit.
But different. But again, no one was asking for it. Same problem they had with Solo, a Star Wars story. Nobody fucking wanted that movie. No, as soon as it was like, we're gonna have Solo come out. Like, why? Like, why?
But I actually kind of liked it.
It fucking tanked.
I know.
I watched it, and I'm like, I didn't watch it for like a couple of years or whatever it was, and it was on Netflix or something like that. And I ended up, I was like, fine, we'll see what it is. So I watched it, and I'm like, it's an action movie, but I didn't like.
I didn't watch it as a Star Wars movie.
That's the problem.
That's why I think I liked it.
But that's the problem. Is like you have, in order to watch a Star Wars movie, you're telling me you have to watch it like it's not a Star Wars movie?
Well,
that's a fucking problem.
That's the thing, though. If you look at it, if you actually look at the titles, look at how they display it. Star Wars, bigger letters. Rogue One, big letters. Solo, it's in huge letters, and then in the tiny little thing up the corner, Star Wars.
I think they did the same thing with Rogue One.
No. I'll look up. You look up Star Wars Rogue One. I'll look up Han Solo.
Oh, I know Han Solo's thingy because I think they were doing that with all the side stories. Deep.
Yeah, right there. I got mine.
Yeah, there it is. Rogue One.
Let me see.
A Star Wars story.
Oh yeah, Solo.
Yeah, like that.
Star Wars story.
Yeah, and that's what they were doing with all of them. Like it showed you it was still in the evidently it was still in the universe, but it wasn't like Star Wars, the Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
So, but.
Well, I think that's why Rogue One worked out as good as it did, because it gave you that filler story that we did ask the question. Like,
yeah, like, and that made that they took a chance and they did something. Same Mandalorian, they took a chance, did something. Now shows that they didn't fucking take any chances. Like, this is fan service, and that's all it was. Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
It was like the show wasn't good at all. I was expecting so much more because Boba Fett was a massive fucking character in Star Wars.
With like
and
three
the show
lines.
just was like
2-3 lines or something.
Yeah, it was like fucking flat soda. It just fell. It was just not good.
It's like sex with a transvestite. Sure, you get off, but it's still with a guy.
Yeah. Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is another one. That was just not good. And that one could have been fantastic.
Especially since they saw you the sisters.
Dathomir?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the sisters in that show.
The problem is when Obi-Wan battles Vader, you already know what's going to happen. You already know Vader's going to survive, and you know Obi-Wan's going to survive.
Because they have their final...
Because episode 4. So when they finally meet up, and it's like, oh, this is the big battle at the end of the season... So,
yeah, it's not necessary.
like it was It was 100% fan service. Fans got to see Vader, they got to see Obi-Wan, and they got to see him battle again. Cool for 5 minutes or 9 minutes or however long the fight was.
Yeah.
But then, like 30 minutes after you watch a show, you forget it. Like they didn't do anything.
Well, actually, that reminds me. Going back to the forgetting things, I didn't realize it. I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm trying to be more on the positive side of it. But when we talked about the whole, that's a story for another time. When she hands off the lightsaber to Rey,
that should bother me more than it does. But I think I'm so just.
Well, now I'm at that level of bothered.
I'm flooded with all the other problems I have with it since like 2012 when they took over, and like that's just like add another card to that fucking Dewey Decimal System.
I'm bothered by it to that level now. I want to say to that extent, so to somewhat of that.
I got you. I understand.
An extent.
I think we all.
Okay, thank you. Because I was going to try one more time.
Okay,
but I'm not.
All right.
Because I didn't even think about it. I'm like, I don't even remember. I honestly fucking forgot that she'd even do that. That's how unimportant that scene was to me.
But that
what it should have been, because I should have been like, ooh, how did she get it?
Yeah, and that should have. That just goes along with all the other questions. That was like, wait, what? Like again, another one, Snoke. Like that's
where does Snoke come from?
Yeah, and then the quick thing is like, oh, we're cloning. And they show all the Snokes. I'm like, so Snoke didn't fucking matter the whole time. So the whole time it was like, it felt like Scooby-Doo. Like, I would have gotten away with you from Medley Kids. I was like, what?
I would have gotten away with it too.
Like, I'm not going to lie.
It wasn't for DNA being left on the body. Wait, what?
I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. When I went and saw the Rise of Skywalker, I think that was, Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, we went and saw all 3 in theaters.
I'm not going to lie. When the Emperor showed up, I popped. But that's fan service. So he showed up, I'm like, fuck the Emperor. And then later, when I actually think about what they just did, I'm like, what? Fuck.
Well, here's something that always, like, You find out, obviously, you don't find out in the movies, any of the movies. The first trilogy, the original trilogy, the pre-trilogy, the sequel trilogy. You never find out about the rule of two.
Well, they make mention of it in the first
Yoda
one.
make always one where there's one always
more,
a
no less. Yeah.
Yeah, but who did we ever run into? Master or apprentice?
Yeah.
That's all you ever hear of it.
Yeah. So they don't have like the lore of why and everything, but
Yes.
they do mention the rule too.
So, 2 minutes. In that instance, I remember even hearing that. I was like, I wonder how many are out there, though. I mean, this galaxy, you got to remember, there's one galaxy. No, there's an infinite amount of galaxies, according to the Star Wars logic.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, there's, if you remember in Clone Wars,
Well, yeah, all right, go
you
ahead.
see the time, like the time room, the time sort of area
Right.
where they explain how like Palpatine could have come back.
Yeah, because they did toy with time travelers, something like that.
And alternate dimensions.
Yeah. All right.
So
Yeah, but they even went back because Clone Wars was before Disney bought them, not until Episode 7. The only reason they did
Yeah.
Episode 7 is because the fans were clamoring for it for so long. But they even retconned all that.
that's what that was.
Why did it sound like that?
Well, what else should a
Was my
planet?
soul leaving my body again?
What else should a planet exploding into a star sound like?
Apparently a fucking humpback whale from 2 miles away. Yeah, so time travel.
Oh shit!
Welcome back, folks.
Hey, yeah, sorry, we had to do a little short bathroom break.
Technical difficulties that lasted 48 hours.
Hey, listen, my bowel movements are my own. You worry about you. Everybody poops for 48 hours
Oh my god.
and works a 9-to-5 job.
I can't imagine. 48 hours.
Danny Glover did it.
My legs are... I can't feel
Wasn't
them
48
anymore.
hours.
You know
How
what
old was he on that toilet in that movie?
I don't know.
With the Weapon 2?
I don't know. I've seen that in
A long time.
decades.
It's been a long time.
Decades. But to pick up where I left off,
Yeah, you were saying how Jason
Just
5 was
before
the best
the
Jason
cut.
movie ever.
the five... No, the time travel, Snoke and Disney, whatever.
Yeah,
They're-
the lack of direction.
yeah, the lack of direction that Disney's going. Welcome back, everybody.
Sorry, folks at home.
So, yeah, when I was ranting just a little bit ago to you,
Yeah, like
I
2
was-
minutes within the...
this thing with, I get so passionate about Star Wars, it's kind of pathetic.
No, really, not. No.
Well,
trust me,
and-
there is a whole world of... You're here,
Yeah.
okay? There are people,
Oh,
nothing but respect for you guys,
well,
that are like... They're slipping digits in down here.
yeah, I know.
Okay.
Keep talking, but
They've got there's people that legit cannot have sex unless they're wearing a Jabba the Hutt costumes.
where's your slave outfit?
No,
Just-
but seriously,
Nothing happens unless you got your Leia outfit on.
I got 100 to 1, and shit, we should commit to this. Like we should try to
What am I committing to?
go halves on flying a couple out to the podcast, getting them to be a guest on our show to explain how their sex life does not exist without either Star Wars on the TV or one of them in cosplay.
I mean, 8 billion people in the world, there's a couple out there that's like that. It's like, we got to cosplay, otherwise nothing happens.
I can't even get a boner unless you talk like Han Solo.
Come on, you're a Twi'lek. Yeah, those little phalanges off your head.
Are you a wait? What was Are you a protocol droid? What's your protocol for this?
Yeah, I'm an astromech. Put that thing away.
Help! Stranger danger. Wow!
Well, this took a really weird turn real quick.
And he came.
The sparks are flying. So, yeah. Do you mind filling the rest of us in on the joke?
Hold on, kid. Give me a second.
Right now.
All right. Come into my riddle. For some reason, just what the fuck? Smacking Anakin in the head with the king.
Oh, well, that was R2D2.
Or
Mine.
And then I just played him saying that in my head. I couldn't stop.
So, anyway.
How it hurts.
In my own head, anyway, it's like, man, this is super fucking geeky. Like, what the hell's wrong with me? But on the flip side, like, I'm just as passionate. What Disney did to Star Wars, it's no different. To me, the comparison is it's no different than when, say, someone's favorite sports team, all right? And the office fires a head coach that's fucking awesome, replace him with garbage.
Like Harborough, yeah.
Yeah, no, like Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect example. Like, it's the same sentiment I had then. Is when Jim Harbaugh couldn't get along with the front office because the front office had an idea of what the team should have been like, and Jim Harbaugh didn't run the offense like that. He didn't want to, and what he was doing was successful. Well, because they were at odds with each other, he left.
Yep.
Like, so that's what Disney's doing. Everyone's a geek in their own way.
Put a dildo in our ass with that one, huh?
Yeah, everyone's
Kathleen Kennedy.
Everyone's a geek.
You know she straps on, right?
I don't even, like, I'm so disgusted with her, I don't even, like, want to joke about her. Like, I am so disgusted with Kathleen Kennedy. Like, please step away from the franchise that so many people love. And I only half blame her because George Lucas is the one that put her in charge, and that was contractual. When he sold to Disney, he said she is in the driver's seat because she was the one that was really second in charge when he owned it. Kathleen Kennedy.
What if this is just a plan of George Lucas's to get Star Wars back?
Wouldn't that be something? Gets it back for like $1 billion, so he makes $3 billion off the deal. Please.
So,
I don't think so. No, but he sold it because
he is totally Palpatine and Sidious in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's the Darth Jar Jar.
Ruin it. Come back to me.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not going to do that. He got rid of it because he had his family and he was going to do the family thing, and he wanted to make the next 3 movies, and he's like, at the time he's like, I'm 50. By the time I'm done, like, it would have took 10 years to do the sequel trilogy, because he had the story for the sequel trilogy he already wrote out.
Yep.
And he wanted them to at least take the foundation of that and run with it, and they clearly didn't.
Nope.
And they tried to work a deal back and forth where he would be the overseer of everything, and Disney walked away from the deal, then Lucas walked away from the deal, and it was going back and forth. And then what happened, I think it was 2012, the government passed this new, it was a new something or other, where there was a luxury tax of $500 million if you made over $1 billion or whatever, and he would have been charged with that $500 million tax if the deal went through after that bill was passed. So he hurried up and sold it with pretty much a handshake deal of like, yeah, we'll consult you, and they rarely consulted him. He was on the set of Mandalorian a lot, and they were consulting him, but they didn't have to adhere to what he wanted the story to be, and they clearly didn't do that. because he saw it and he wasn't even going to go to the premiere of episode 7 because it was nothing what he had, like the idea of what he had. He ended up going only because his wife like kind of pressured him to go because he was friends with, I don't know if it was J.J. Abrams or whoever that was working or had something to do with the film, and he ended up going for that. And he's like, it was fine, not what I would have did. And I'm paraphrasing, but
yeah, sex with a woman's great. This one they had sex with a guy. Hiding in a hole is a hole.
I don't know.
No.
It was just not.
In the words
good.
of Grogu, no.
It was just not great at all. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. How did we even get on that before?
I don't remember.
I don't even know. I think. Oh, the thing I was talking about with Facebook, dealing with the whole. Like something I saw on Facebook. They had the roadmap of the next few movies coming out for Disney and Star Wars.
Yeah.
So one of them, I mean, there was like The Mandalorian and Grogu. That was one movie that's coming out. There was The New Order, like Star Wars, the Jedi Order, the New Jedi Order, whatever. The one with Rey.
Mm.
And then what else? There was.
Excuse me.
Oh, the Star Wars What If series, like the Marvel What If series. They're gonna do that. Which that's kind of cool because they've done that before. It was called, what was it called before? Star Wars Infinity or something like that.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
when Lucas still owned it. That was way, way before. It was basically fan fiction, just made by LucasArts.
Yeah.
So like, what if Anakin beat Obi-Wan? What if Anakin killed Obi-Wan? Or what if Luke turned to the dark side and Jedi and stuff like that? What if Vader turned back to the light? Then he'd be like the white suit Darth Vader or whatever, or just Anakin again. But a bunch of stuff like that, right down to stupid things you could do. What if Anakin didn't drop when Qui-Gon's like, Anakin drop, and he didn't. Just Darth Maul just ran him over. Well, I thought he was the chosen one.
You hit a kid! Darth Maul, fuck, shit, what do I do? I was drinking, dude, I'm high, I can't go back to jail. Qui-Gon, relax, Darth, relax. We were never here. Cuts to a scene, they're fucking throwing dirt into a hole. You good?
They put a bantha staff on it just for the Tusken Raiders. Must have been one of those Raiders. They're savages.
Sprinkle a little crack on them, you'll be fine. Open and shut case, Qui-Gon.
But that's it.
Open and shut case.
Case.
Open and shut case, Qui-Gon.
But
a Tusken Raider.
That's
that stupid Tusker. Tuskener. Broke into the old Anakin's house and hung up pictures of his whole family around the place. I've seen it before.
Just sprinkle some sand on him.
And get out of here.
Yeah, but so Disney's doing that, and then there was the origin of the Jedi Order, the Jedi Order origin, something like that from like 1,000 years before, like a bunch of stuff, and I put a comment on her like, I go, please stop, Disney, it didn't do anything to you.
It's just a child. Stop touching him there.
Just stop, please. It's beyond raping this into a franchise. It was already a franchise.
South Park.
Now you're just raping this.
The episode where it's Steven Spielberg and who was it? Yeah, Steven Spielberg and George Lucas were raping the stormtrooper. Or Indiana Jones. I can't remember what it was. It's like, yeah, we're going to get every bit out of this as we can.
Yeah, that must have been Indiana Jones because they were both on Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's it.
I wonder did Steven Spielberg have anything to do with the last Indiana Jones?
I think so.
Did he? Let's see.
I hope so.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Actually, I hope not. Because that movie had so much potential, and they did not.
The movie is fucking horrible. Maybe I'm a little hyperbolic. It wasn't horrible. I've seen a lot worse. But in Indiana Jones standards, that movie was horrible.
Yeah, it had so much potential.
It was, what really is, no. I didn't see anything with Steven Spielberg. All right, makes sense. You know what really is kind of bonkers? You remember when 4 came out in 2008?
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, yes.
Yeah. You remember how everyone was like, this is not realistic. And remember? You remember that? Like, that was the big thing. It's like, this isn't realistic. Because they're talking about aliens or interdimensional beings or whatever. And I, like, back then I was like, has anybody watched the first 3 movies?
Well, you got to remember, the first 3 movies were based off factual shit. You know, where a guy could stick his hand into another guy's chest, pull out his heart. That was real.
Yeah.
That's based off real stuff. That's really happened. People have seen that.
Yeah.
You know, getting the Holy Grail, pouring the holy water onto a gunshot wound, heals people. I do that on the daily probably 10 times.
He does.
But interdimensional beings, come on, dude.
Yeah.
This
is where I draw the line. You know what's funny? You know what's funny now? Now everyone's like, well, there are things that do fly around. We don't know exactly what. But here comes part 5 now. Time travel. Not only time travel, it's not even like time travel.
Wasn't even real time travel.
Well, it's not even time travel. We're going to toy with the idea in the movie. It's like, maybe it is possible. We don't know. They just fucking flat out, spoiler alert, went for it. Right at the end, there's a riff, and they go through it, and I'm in ancient Rome, or whatever.
But that's just it. That's why
like, wow, we're just going all the way. Why didn't we go back to dinosaurs? Fucking Jurassic Park.
But that's it. They couldn't.
Indiana Park and the Jurassic of Indies.
If you actually pay attention to that movie, it's a time traveling device to one spot.
I wish they'd go back to the time when there was only 3 Indiana Jones movies. And you can go back, wow, this is when this wasn't a bad series.
Well, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull wasn't bad.
Wasn't good. No, Kingdom
of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, Crystal Skull, that was fine. Like, I was entertained by it. It was fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't up to the standards of the original 3, but it was fun. Like, it wasn't, like, I didn't watch it like I did the Star Wars movies and go, ugh.
To me, I think... we said this before.
Disney
I think 4 should have been viewed as a send-off.
Yeah.
He does the whole blowing the hat, blows down the aisle, and Shia LaBeouf grabs it, goes to put it on. Not today, Junior.
Yeah.
And that if they had left the movie at that, like, oh, could there ever be, does somebody take over Indy's spot? He's on with Miriam now. He's going about his own thing. He's going to live a normal life. Maybe someday we'll see a new Indiana Jones 20 years down the road, 10 years down the road. You see an older... Before.
They did that with the novel series, the young adult novel, so Young Indiana Jones.
Yeah, they went back to when he was younger in his adventures.
They could literally do that.
Yeah.
They could do... There's tons of books about, like, when his young adventures. I have some of them. I mean, they could go on all these adventures he had when he was younger. But here, this is going back into the Star Wars gripe I had. They had so much shit they could pull from... in Legends now in Star Wars, in the Indy series, when he was younger, you could explore all that. But as soon, again, Disney bought it. I don't even know about Indy. Maybe they retconned all that too and be like, that's all Legends. That's all Indy Legends now. We'll call it Artifacts. But they didn't do that. They just went in like their own direction. And there again, in 2008, when that one came out, you could tell George Lucas was still behind the helm. Yeah. Because it was like, okay, this is Indiana Jones. It's
Steven Spielberg.
It's well, I mean, like the character. It's like this does feel like Indiana Jones. Steven Spielberg was doing it, and George Lucas was wrote it. But it's not the same as the old one. Yeah. But I don't expect it to be that. So I was like, I was acceptable. I was like, I'm fine with that, and it was fun. And then Disney buys them, and then here we are so many years later, and here's Indy, and they tried to tell a captivating story of him losing Mutt. They wrote him off, which I thought that was actually at one part where I was like, oh, that's heavy.
Yeah.
But they wrote Mutt off, and then they just went on. They pick up the movie at the end of an adventure that they probably should have told. That should have been the movie.
Yeah.
And then like the beginning of the movie is the ending of a Indy movie, and then it goes into the next adventure right off the bat. And that's the thing we got with time travel. But the whole thing did not feel like Indiana Jones. It just, I don't know why Disney just cannot seem to hit the mark, but they can't do it with Star Wars. At least the big features, because like I said before, they did it with some of the shows on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But they can't seem to do it with the main features. And thank God for on Disney Plus they don't do the whole you have to watch all these Star Wars shows to understand what's going on in the next movie, like they did with Marvel.
Yeah.
Because that disenfranchised, that alienated so many fans. And that's why so many fans, even I know diehard fans of Marvel.
Rich.
Yeah. That just doesn't watch it anymore. It's like, it's too fucking much.
He's marveled out.
Yeah. It's too much. It's too much shit. Like, I mean, you figure a multi-billion-dollar company like that would know, listen, if we put too much shit out, people are just going to be like, no more. No more. I mean, it's...
Thanks, my plate is full.
I feel like we're starting to get to that with Godzilla, as far as like Godzilla fans go. Maybe not, but I'm like, a lot's coming out, and it's exciting because it's like, wow, Godzilla's like back in pop culture again, and it goes in waves. But at the same time, it's like, man, you have Legendary Studios putting Godzilla out. You have Monarch, the Apple TV series, putting Godzilla out. You have Toho still putting Godzilla out. It's like, you're like, careful. Careful, because it's going to be
like... You
like...
toss the fish in the boat, and eventually the boat's going to tip over.
Yeah, like, in Marvel, clearly, that's what happened. Like,
they straight up fucking off.
I don't want... Star Wars has a lot of shows out, but you don't have to watch any of them to know what's going on in the next movies.
No.
But that also, in and of, like, on the flip side, I'm going to contradict myself here, is a problem because now that shows that all Disney's doing is just throwing... I think I made this point before. They're throwing everything at the wall to see what'll stick. And it's like, all right, we'll do Mando, we'll do Boba Fett, we'll do whatever, Andor, and we'll do Ahsoka, and we'll do, and like they're all at different time periods, so it's not like anything's like, all right, these are all going to come together in one show, or a movie, like all of them to the next new series of movies. They're just all the fuck over the place.
Well, let me pose you this question, because now I just kind of clicked in my head the way you're describing it. Is it really so much they're throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks, or is it they're throwing everything at the wall but they're not connecting anything because it's what do you want to see stick? So you see 5 shows hit the wall, 2 of them are characters that based on characters or storylines that pique your interest. So those are the 2 you pay attention to. But these other 3, the billion-dollar fans out there go, oh, well, this one interested me, and they actually did a show about it. Cool. Well, this one interested me, so they did a show about it. That's cool. They kind of, I think what it is to me is they're trying to put out like a spread. Here's everything we know that every single person in this room enjoys.
Right.
You don't have to eat all of it. Just pick what you want.
See, that's when I first made the point. That's where I'm like, oh, okay, this works because now you're doing a whole bunch of different things, and you don't have to watch all of them to make sense of anything. But like I said, on the flip side, it just, unless they have this grand scheme, or maybe they are specifically, purposely keeping the cinematic universe or the cinematic timeline or whatever you want to call, and the series, the episodic series on Disney Plus separate. Maybe they're trying to do that. Maybe they're smart. Like, listen, we're gonna do. You don't have to, because maybe they did learn from Marvel and be like, we can't fucking do that again, because now in Marvel they're I don't know if they are definitely, but I heard that they're dialing back on Kang the Conqueror and the whole multiverse thing, because it's way too like, as a fan of Marvel, like, the thought of it would be awesome, like I said before, but then you actually get it, like you said, like a dog catching a car. It's like, what the fuck do you do with it? Because now you have all these multiverses, and like, I thought I wanted this, but I definitely don't want this, because now it's like nothing matters anymore.
Too late. You didn't say no when we started.
50 no's equals a yes.
James Bond, yes.
But yeah, so maybe they're doing that with Star Wars now. They're like, all right, let's just separate this. That way we can come up with different shows. Everyone can pick whatever show. But that also is dangerous, but I like it because that shows we're taking a risk. And that's what's sorely lacking in Hollywood, let alone Disney, but just Hollywood.
Oh, in general.
There's no risks anymore. Like, there was so many unique movies. Big Trouble in Little China. You think that would be fucking come out today? Hey, I got an idea. Like, just never mind. Like, take Kurt Russell, take all the actors out of it. You just bring them the story of that movie.
You mean like the world's greatest acted, directed, and produced movie ever? Like everything, even the CG was so real. The CG was like, did that really happen, or did we make that?
But take that script and bring it to Hollywood. Like, I got an idea, and like they're gonna look at me like, like in today's day and age, fuck out of here.
Get your racist rhetoric out of here, please.
That's what it would be. I mean, take any crazy ass cult classic movie now
From the 80s into the early 90s?
Yeah.
Oh, God, no. Oh,
It was just it wouldn't happen because you're not allowed to take any like Hollywood will not allow themselves rather to take any risks. It's got to make money.
Yeah.
If it doesn't make money, well, here's the problem. A lot of the classic classic movies, horror movies specifically, bombed at the box office.
Oh yeah.
20 years later, this franchise is massive. Like, they didn't make it right off the bat.
Speaking of horror flicks and remembering your computer screen, did you see that TikTok I sent you about the disc home videos?
No.
Oh my God! Like, dude, I sent this.
I haven't been on I haven't even really scrolled anything on TikTok in a while.
Yes, Your Honor. I brought this case to court because I'd like.
Shut up, Your Honor.
Again, I have a whole bunch of different news things and everything. I'm just. What is this?
This is legit, like back in the 80s.
Is it Laserdisc?
Mm-hmm. Laserdisc home videos.
Are they coming back?
I don't know, but I thought this was cool to watch.
Halloween 3?
Mm-hmm. Just the size of that disc. It was basically a CD vinyl.
You know what? I hope that is cool. But, you know, I do hope that the Laserdisc thing comes back for one reason only. Because there's only the newest print of the Star Wars, the original Star Wars trilogy, unaltered, is on the Laserdisc. It's not on DVD. It's not anything. It's on. You can get booted versions on DVD from the Laserdisc, but that's the last time that the original trilogy came out.
Yeah.
It was on Laserdisc. So hopefully,
That'd be awesome to see that.
And
back when Jabba the Hutt wasn't a big slug.
Mm-hmm. Well, he wasn't in when they redid it either. He was still the giant puppet in Jedi. He was a slug in Return, or he was the CGI slug in Phantom Menace and the cut scene from episode 4 when he's outside the Falcon. But in Return of the Jedi, he's still the puppet. Nah. You're a wonderful human being. Yeah, but I didn't. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Laserdisc came back.
Dude, I would get one.
Vinyl did.
Vinyl's never really gone away.
Now, but that comes
it's
back
like a wave.
Ish in waves, yeah.
I would say it never fully goes below.
It's that hipster thing. When's cassette tape's going to come back? When is 8-track going to come back? All you hipsters out there, you want to be really cool? Why don't you bring back fucking hand radios?
You remember way back?
I have a hand radio. It's in there.
I'm talking like early 90s when you were listening to the radio and you were trying to record a song.
Mm-hmm.
Listening all day. Yay, we got that song. This song coming next. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Press record.
We didn't do that.
Did you ever pay attention? Like, did you ever record in the same room as you were doing stuff? Or did you put your cassette recorder, your radio with the recording in another room and let it be quiet? Record.
No, I could record it while it was like in the thing itself. It didn't record
no, what I'm saying is like were you quiet around it while the radio played and it recorded? No. Or did you make a lot of noise?
No, I did whatever.
Because I remember.
The only time I did... All right. So, I don't know if I told this story before on this show, but this is a precursor to what we are doing right now that I did way back in 7th grade. So, me, Matt Death, actually it started with me and Pat Smith. And then Matt Death, and then Mike Krug. We all started a radio show, air quotes. And it was recorded through a radio. And then we would do like just whatever skits and then play like a song, but we'd record the song in that skit and then come back to it after. During that, we'd have to be quiet because then it would just, because we were using 2 different radios to do that because we were talking into it at the same time. I wish to God I had one of those tapes again, but I don't. It was called Crap Radio.
Oh, God.
Crappy ratings and publicity.
Well, the point I was getting at was you had to be quiet.
I should rename this podcast Crap Podcast.
A lot of the older people at home will know.
Or vodcast, I mean.
Like, you had to be quiet. Because if you were too loud around the radio while it was playing the song and recording...
It would pick you up.
It would pick you up and record it into it.
Yeah, so you got, like, Intergalactic or something planetary from Beastie Boys, and then you hear, like, woo, 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 in the back.
I just want to play fucking Super Nintendo, Dad. What the fuck? Intergalactic planetary. No, don't touch me, Uncle Terry. Intergalactic.
Come on, let's be intergalactic. Let me in your galactic.
I'm reading the Harry Potter books. I'm going to slither into your secret chamber later. God damn it. Trying to listen to the audio books.
Uncle Willie, get out of here. Don't tell your dad. Oh, that's sad. Sorry to anyone that has a creepy Uncle Willie out there. Repressed memories. Oh, jeez. You got any other crazy fucking rant things for me before I move on from Star Wars and
yeah,
Indiana Jones?
Fucking crybaby. Why won't you rune dupe?
Why won't? No, I was playing Star Wars. All right, so he texted me the other night. He's like, "Let's rune dupe," like the old GTA days. I was playing fucking Battlefront.
Always got an excuse.
That's the one time.
I bet you he's still gonna. Oh, I still feel bad about that 1,000-yard trophy.
No, not anymore because they shut the servers down. I can't.
The trophy will always be on your trophy
Actually,
list.
no. I think
that was for JQ Part 1.
JQ
for you.
There are trophies, or there are servers out there that still run, like PC servers that still run Warhawk.
Yeah.
And I wish I'd never put it down.
Plus, that Warhawk trophy's on your JQ for you profile.
Yeah, I'm still friends with myself.
He doesn't look too friendly. He looks red and irritated. Is he crying? He needs to blow his nose. There's a lot of green mucusy snot coming out.
You don't worry about it. He's got a cold. If you're not careful, you'll have a cold too.
Why won't he talk to me? Shut up. Don't say a word. Just let it go. Let it go. Nobody from that story watches the podcast, I hope. And I had to get you shit.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
So,
I still have that coupon to hide one free body from that deal. I'm not going to use that puppy.
That's saving for a rainy day.
Save it for a day when I can't do all the heavy lifting.
So Star Wars, whatever. We go from the Battle of Yavin.
BBY, yep.
To the Battle of Yemen, apparently.
Yemen.
So the United States and UK bomb Yemen, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the reason, right?
No, I didn't.
Yemen sent off I guess U.S. naval ships got attacked by some drones or something from Yemen. So U.S. and UK bomb Yemen in response, right? Pretty standard stuff. Except it's not. because there was no congressional okay given to Biden's administration to launch an attack against Yemen, which is illegal.
So that's an act of war.
You can't do that without Congress voting yay or nay and letting the people know this is what we're going to do. And yet, the UK and US went ahead and did it.
Isn't that considered an act of war?
You know what's... And what really... This is the tall tale sign of the administration just going amok. Because Democrats called them out on it. I mean, Republicans, conservatives, independents, of course they are. But Democrats, a large group of them went, what the fuck are you doing? I'm kind of paraphrasing, but I'm sure there was some in there that went, what the fuck is he doing?
I'm sure there was a few people that said, what the fuck is he doing when they watched that video of the gay guy banging the other gay guy in the courtroom.
You think that guy's sitting at his spot on the desk yet? You think he still goes in there, just sits, like, pulls his chair back like 5 feet or so, and just has his his laptop's on his lap, and he's like,
he sits at the table. You're in my spot. Fuck off.
Every time they come in to meet, he's in someone else's seat. He's like, nice try, get out of my chair. Damn it.
Have my chair. No. There's a $500 bill in the seat. No.
Nice try, asshole. No pun intended. Get back in your shitty seat.
Now, why don't you get behind the rest of us and do what our jobs required us to do?
Do what you signed up to do.
Do your duty.
Your due diligence.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so the U.S. in regards expects Iran to counter.
Oh, so really quick. Am I correct?
What?
If there was no approval... Well, no, they attacked us first, I guess.
Yeah, they did. But regardless of whether they did or not, we did a strike on foreign soil that has to be okayed by Congress.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It wasn't even brought to them. It was just gone and heading down. Now, if fucking Trump, or let alone anybody else did this...
fuck
if
that.
anybody else did this, like, this isn't even a Republican-Democrat thing. If anybody else, a normal president, you know, a normal one, thought process...
coherent.
Yeah, if anybody else did that, everyone would be up in arms about it. This he's got such fucking plot armor. Forget Star Wars. Forget all these fucking... The plot armor is like adamantium and vibranium
and
mixed
Beskar
together.
steel.
Yeah. Forget it. But here he is. Just be like, oh, I can do this.
Dear God.
Yeah, so now they're saying Iran inevitably is going to retaliate because Iran backs Yemen, which is great. You know why? Because fucking Russia backs Iran. Isn't that awesome? And China and Russia are together. Like, they formed BRICS. They're in BRICS together.
Yeah.
With Saudi Arabia and Brazil. Why not? And China's doing the whole thing. China is trying to get Taiwan. Taiwan just had their elections. And there's still a large majority of them that denounce anything to do with China. China's moving toward... They're moving battleships. They have battleships headed toward Taiwan right now. Fun. They gave a warning to the United States that they have infiltrated, no shock there, 26 different... what's the word I'm looking for?
Bases, systems, organizations, parties.
I'm sure it's in here somewhere. Oh yeah, here we go. They gave warning. They're infiltrated 26 or 28 different infrastructures. They're warning of an imminent cyber attack if the United States interferes in any way with Taiwan, which that's what they've done anyway. I mean, that's what they've sort of done by proxy, but they keep warning, leave Taiwan alone. China's like, Taiwan's ours. Here's a problem. If Biden does something, that starts a conflict. If Biden doesn't do something that tells China and the rest of the world guys aren't going to do anything, they're just going to roll over and play dead. So, rocking a hard place. But going back to Yemen, so now we have a war in Yemen. We have a war in Ukraine. We have a war in Israel. We have a proxy war with Russia. And we have a potential proxy war with China over Taiwan. 5 different fronts. The borders are wide open. With 5 different factions, we'll say, breathing down our neck. What better time to open up the borders than when fucking everyone around the world is just pissed at us and just looking at us? You figure if there is any, tell me that's not war. Is that not war? We are bombing, we are proxy bombing, we're supplying weapons.
Oh yeah.
That is war. I don't give a shit what anyone wants.
It's passive aggressive.
Yeah, I don't, if anyone wants it, well no, if we are bombing Yemen, that's no longer passive aggressive. No, but we are actively bombing.
No, we're defending ourselves.
I don't want any of that bullshit. Anything that's like, well, that's the... No. Weapons being dropped, explosions, ours, by us, war. Okay? Best time to close a border is when you're fucking at war. And what we're not doing... Closing
our legs? I mean, closing our borders?
Because
we're going to get fucked.
Yeah. Well...
And we're not going to be offered a cab ride home or the morning after.
There's a whole bunch of preppers all over fucking...
They're going to get a metal coat hanger and a lighter. They're going to abort that shit for us.
Yeah. There's a bunch of preppers saying it right now. It's like, get your shit ready. Get ready, because we are not going in any good direction right now. So yeah, you'd figure they close the borders. But that's what we're not doing. Because why would we do that? Why would we do anything that makes fucking sense? Why would we do anything that helps the American person? Why would we do anything that makes us a little more safe? Fuck it. Open the borders. Let them all in. Texas has moved their own National Guard to the borders because the United States won't do anything.
Yeah.
But now Texas is doing that against the federal government's orders. So now that causes a scenario where you have state militia and the United States government at possible arms with each other. United States rolls in, and the National Guard in Texas goes, "What are you doing here? Stand down." And now you have a fucking stand up. Now, great, that's an extreme scenario, but you have...
We've made jokes about crazier shit that's come fucking true.
That's true, and that's why I bring it up.
Holy fuck.
That's why I bring it up. Now you have state to state just being like, all right, if you're not going to do anything, we're going to do it.
Because yeah, and then when you do something about it, you're a fucking racist or a bigot or you're a fucking you're a MAGA extremist or you're a domestic terrorist. For fuck's sakes.
Funny you bring up the racist bigot thing, because I got something down here. And this is more of a... Oh my God, no, that was... Oh, yeah, this had to do with the Cali being the first state to issue health insurance for illegals. Like, full-out health insurance. They already, they can vote, and they have driver's license, but now they're giving them health insurance. Never mind veterans. But they're doing that. And I wrote down the article, or I wrote down the thing for Cali, and then when I was doing that, then the whole James Madison High School in New York City came out, and all the students in James Madison had to go distance learning.
Remote learning so that they could fill the...
use the high school for refugees.
Which apparently they've been relocated now.
Oh, the refugees have?
Yeah.
Okay. This is when I wrote it down. And you know what's funny is that high school is located in a section of the city that voted Republican. All the other ones around it voted Democrat. So we'll use that one to... There's no way that was that was definitely a coincidence.
Yeah, they're going to flood the fucking area with blue votes.
Definitely not using or focusing their attacks on political opponents. That's not happening. That would never happen in the United States. Vote blue, make it true. And then, and Chicago O'Hare Airport apparently shut down the shuttle system and moved to a separate location to now use the original place to house asylum-seeking refugees. Yeah. Well, also, Chicago is the one that's giving the equivalent of $7,000 a month per illegal, while the country's in $34 trillion in debt. $7,000
a month.
Do you make $7,000 a month?
Nope.
Yeah, me neither. I wonder who does. No, I didn't even know. But bringing up the racist thing, that's why I brought this up. As soon as you say that we should close the borders and all these illegals need to go back, like immediately the argument that'll be thrown out is that's racist, you're racist. But there is a couple problems with that. One is there was an article that came out a few years ago. This is from the Big Think. This is from Yale, the study. White liberals dumb down speech when talking to minorities. Said from Yale University, the study examined how Democrat and Republican presidential candidates use language when speaking to black and white audiences. A second study focused on how white people use language in emails to strangers with stereotypically white or black names. The lead researcher called the findings kind of an unpleasant surprise. White liberals are more likely to use dumbed-down language in conversations with racial minorities, suggests by a study published by the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology. It's some of the first research to explore how seemingly well-intentioned white people try to get along with racial minorities, and the findings were kind of an unpleasant surprise. Quote, even if it's ultimately well-intentioned, it could be seen as patronizing. Could!
Oh, fucking God.
The researcher, Sidney Dupree, and her co-author, Susan Fisk of Princeton University, first analyzed the language used by white presidential candidates during 74 campaign speeches over a 25-year period. The settings of these speeches included, for example, a Hispanic small business roundtable discussion and a black church. The researchers analyzed the words candidates used along two metrics, competence and warmth. In the study, competence referred to words related to status, dominance, skill, intelligence, and social hierarchy, while warmth refers to words connotating ideas of trustworthiness, support, compassion, and friendliness. The results showed Democratic candidates used fewer words related to competence when speaking to minority audiences than they did to mostly white audiences. Meanwhile, the speeches of conservative candidates showed no significant difference. Through the researchers noted it was hard to find examples of conservatives addressing minority crowds. It is.
Ew, yucky.
So wait, okay, so then what this research is telling me, without reading further, is conservatives, all right, liberals will talk to them, but like they're cavemen, and conservatives those are flyover cities. Let's say in the wrestling world, that's a flyover town. It's like, not good. And there's like
Sir, Mr. President, we're 32,000 feet above the ground. So you want to lock the back doors too?
Also, racism. Perfect example in the last couple of years. Martha's Vineyard.
Oh, yeah.
The insurrection. Sanctuary state. Until they get the refugees.
Illegals. Fuck that shit.
Until they get them in their backyard. And suddenly, we got to get them out. And what was it? 72 hours?
They were gone.
Gone. Didn't take long. But those fucking Republicans. Those racist fucks. Oh, well, that's another thing, too. Progressive policies are specifically, a lot of progressive policies, especially social, specifically are designed around race, gender, sex, what have you, which in and of itself, by definition, is racism. Because it's not for the American people, That's for a specific demographic.
Yep.
It's like this is case in point. I was going to say NAACP, but I guess I could use that for an example. Yeah.
So yeah, they're an organization. You know what? I don't know. I'm actually gonna not say that. So from what I gather, my understanding of what the NAACP is it is primarily.
Well, that's not what I had in mind. It's just the first thing that popped into my head. Moreover, it just was in my head again. It's gone.
Well, really quick, this is what I was gonna say.
The affirmative action hire. There you go.
You have the NAACP, which, if I'm correct, and I'm not sure about this, you'd have to.
That's for less fortunate.
No, it's it's primary. In fact, its only demographic is the furtherment of black people in sports and college. Correct, primarily basketball, where they won't help anybody but black people.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know enough about the NAACP to give you a good definition of what they actually are.
I don't know, but like I said, affirmative action hires. That's one right there. Where it's a certain group is taken out and then put in front of the line. It's like, well, you have to check these boxes first before you can look at candidates. And it was brought up. What was I listening to? Probably was Tim Pool, but it was brought up that in the 50s and 60s during the civil rights movement, like black people would constantly hold up signs that would read, "I am a man." Like, not this color, not that color, not from here, not from there. Just, I am a man. I am a man and I'm an American. That was it. Somewhere along the line, we got away from that. That was in response to Jim Crow. Not being seen as human.
Yeah.
But anyway, to touch on that with the whole racist thing, like closing the border. Yeah, it would be considered, well, you're racist.
No, it's not.
Like, no, I just don't want a fucking terrorist attack like 9/11 again. You remember, though, when 9/11 happened, you know what was, I'm not going to say accepted, but was just kind of brushed off, at least for a month or two, was the hatred toward Middle Eastern people. More specifically, yeah.
I meant and you mean all around, too.
Yeah.
It didn't matter if they were born and bred and raised American. They just had a rich heritage, cultural basis of their development from their family projected onto them from childhood.
Yeah.
So, yes, they were born and raised in America, but they were, I guess, developed in that faith, but they weren't extremists.
I feel as though what's happening with this, the borders being open, is like we look back on what happened in 9/11 and we realize bad move. So to correct it, we'll go all the way at the other end of the spectrum and just leave everything open. Now, instead of one nation we're fucking with, it's 5. So
here's my
just
problem with
leave
that.
the borders open because we don't want anyone thinking we're a xenophobe or this phobe or that phobe, whatever.
Yeah.
So we'll just leave everything open. That way no one can call us a bad name that we don't want to be called.
Retard.
That's side 3. That's what I think we're at right now.
Sorry. You can blur that out.
That was so out of the blue. Do you have a form of Tourette's?
Maybe.
All right. It's acceptable then.
Self-diagnosed. And I identify as a doctrine awarded graduate, so. My thesis was on my dick.
What?
Don't you need to do a thesis in order to get a doctrine in anything?
Yes. Yes, you do.
Okay, so there you go.
It was on
I did my thesis.
physically
on my
or
dick.
subject-wise?
No. I put a big-ass table on my dick and wrote my thesis out on it.
No, you didn't. We all know he didn't. Everyone point. Don't laugh. Just point. Shame.
Shame. Good Family Guy.
So the Dems.
All right, maybe it wasn't my dick. Maybe it was like 500 dicks that I've collected.
Wait, that opens up a new. Where?
Haven't you ever been to Oklahoma?
Where and why?
Oklahoma. The dildo scavenger hunt. You didn't hear about that?
Fill us in.
There was a lot of filling in going on in Oklahoma. So
No different than the White House.
hold on. I can't believe you didn't hear about this. Oklahoma. I can't spell Oklahoma.
Okay.
Oklahoma.
Okay.
I did spell it right.
Oklahoma. Okla.
Dildo.
Dokla. Okla Dokla. Here we go.
Oklahoma dildo prank. Drones dropping colorful sex toys on Oklahoma City suburbs, rooftops, traffic lights. Yeah, dude.
Amazon's gone haywire.
No. And the worst part is, like,
Cyberdyne.
a strange prank has taken over a suburb of Oklahoma City. The Moore Police Department informed Fox 25 that it has been made aware of several adult toys being placed on buildings, businesses, and intersections near Southwest 19th Street and South Telephone Road. So that was. Hold on, let me see if I can find pictures, images.
It's a good prank.
Where is it?
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah. So it's cool because they're using some pretty extensive drones. But here's the thing, like you really can't see it very good in this picture. It's a butt plug on a water tower. I don't black. I guess
You know what? You know what though? Now think about this. Now somebody has to climb that water tower to go get a butt plug.
Oh, well, get this one. Check this one, dude.
And that's probably a good 180 feet at least in the air.
That's in a traffic. It's a dildo standing straight up on a traffic light.
It's a drone. They can do that. So they're just like, beep.
There's
Oklahoma, huh?
they blur them all, which fucking
You
sucks.
see, the borders are open, and look what happens.
Getting dildo drones and
We got the cartel dropping dildos and butt plugs all over southern United States.
So yeah, I don't want to talk about how I got all those dicks. I just went to visit Oklahoma.
You were part of the. Ah.
Oh God.
So, like a butt plug being pulled out of your anal cavity. The Dems have announced that Biden is the primary without a
Preliminary.
without any election or debate. He's just the primary. And now it's too late to enter in, so they couldn't have Gavin Newsom come in. So now Biden is the primary. But here's the thing, like, let's say Biden can't run. I think this is a way they could do this. They could plant someone in there they want in there, right? So Biden is now the primary. It's past the deadline to enter the primary race. Now something happens. Biden is incapacitated. He's not able to run. He bows out. Now they can take someone, and what they can do is write someone in to be the replacement. Enter Gavin Newsom. He could be the new replacement for Biden. And now everyone would just follow him.
Yeah.
Or Michelle Obama.
You mean Michael? I mean, yeah, Michelle. Sorry.
There's so many people now that really believe that was a man. And I tell you what, there's not much evidence out there that says otherwise.
I mean, that.
And I do not like to jump on that bandwagon and be like, that's a man. Because it's just one of those, maybe this is just me, but it's one of those like, until I have solid concrete proof. But at the same time, it's like, man, there's like solid proof coming out of every direction.
What's it going to take?
Is that real? Whack!
No, you missed it.
All right.
It's real.
There's a possibility it could.
No. I still don't believe it. I still don't believe it. Oh, it's real.
Christie bows out. He bowed out
Yep,
before
I saw
the last debate. And then he was caught on a hot mic talking about Nikki Haley, saying she's going to get smoked.
Yeah.
Which, no shit. But Nikki Haley's poll numbers have gone way up, though. She's at like 30%. Trump's at like 44%. I think this is for one state. It was like for Iowa or something like that. But that's still way closer than I anticipated anybody. Which part of me is like, are those numbers inflated? Or are people really on board voting for her?
Speaking of getting inflated and filled up from the rear, did you hear about Will Smith?
I did hear about that. I knew exactly what. It has nothing to do with what I'm talking about right now. But
I know. We'll go back to it. Continue,
don't
Nikki Haley.
Don't forget that.
Oh, I'm pretty sure the whole world hasn't forgot about that.
Yeah,
yet.
it's weird. The Nikki Haley thing. If these numbers aren't inflated and they're not fake, that just says that there's a lot of Republicans that are starting to get on Nikki Haley's bandwagon, which kind of is concerning because there's a bunch of people that, one, right off the bat, like Nikki Haley is a robot, and a lot of people think she's a Democratic plant because she has a lot of things she says. One being the whole surveillance online, like when you post something, your name will be attached to it. I'm like, no, I don't like that at all. I don't think anybody really likes that. Like that's fucking tracking 101.
Oh yeah,
she pushes that. The thing is, I don't think a lot of people realize. I mean, the fucking people that read the shit and at least sort of keep up with this kind of stuff, they know, I think. But a lot of people don't realize Nikki Haley is on the board of Boeing. Now, why is that important? Because Boeing is one of the biggest producers of United States military weapons. So if she's on the board of Boeing, and Boeing creates U.S. weapons for war, do you really think Nikki Haley is going to try to get us out of war?
Oh, hell no.
Probably not. That's a problem. That's a fucking major problem.
She'd have to remove herself from it.
You'd think so. But now you're going 20-some years ago. Remember Dick Cheney? When he was on the board of... Oh, what oil company was that? Was it... it wasn't Shell. I can't remember the fucking oil company's name. My brain's all fucking fucked up tonight. He removed himself from being on...
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a board or whatever it was, but then they gave him like a however many $1 million severance package to leave. No. Which I'm like, you're the fucking vice president of the United States. You don't take that. Like, you don't do that because all that's basically doing is like, oh, it's a severance, it's a send off. Bye. Make sure you pass things that work for us. Like, fucking come on. Now, fast forward to now, Nikki Haley, she's on Boeing. Now, she gets in office. There's no fucking way she's going to try and keep us out of wars. It's just going to be. It's going to be
poke for a fight.
Biden with a red hue over it. Oh, look, we're a Republican. Okay. Whatever. There was a fucking meme online that said it was a picture. It said of Nikki Haley, and then it said Hillary, brought to you by Netflix or something like that.
Oh God.
And I'm like, yeah, you know what? When she talks, it does kind of remind me of Hillary. Like, Hillary's just like, shut the fuck up. And Nikki Haley's right behind her there. I tell you that. But yeah, so that's the whole Nikki Haley thing with like being on Boeing. I'm like, that's enough concern for me to be like, you got to get out. But just, and then with the whole internet thing, I'm like, And then I'm like, I'm sorry, like Trump is still the guy. And I'm not like a Trumper. I know it sounds like that a lot, but it's like, I'm not. The thing is, I think I speak for most people when I say this. People don't like Trump because he's such a stand-up guy. That's not the reason. People don't like Trump because he's a great politician. That's not the reason. The reason why Trump has so much fucking movement behind him, there's such a grassroots movement, is because Trump he's the amalgamation of a reaction to an establishment machine that just fucked over the people of the United States for so many years. They finally had enough. And they had enough. They got to the boiling point where it's like, it doesn't matter whether it's right or left. everyone that gets in office, we get a little sprinkle of this one way and a little sprinkle of that the other way, but nothing fucking changes. The ship is still going on course this way. It just does this.
Yeah.
But it's still going to fucking nothing benefits us.
We are still iceberg right ahead.
Trump comes along and he does not play in the machine. He gets in office and just fucking, the phrase has been used so many times, but it's true. Bull in a china shop. He just fucking went in there, just broke everything they were doing. And the whole fucking establishment, Republicans, Democrats alike, went into panic mode. Fuck, this is putting us way behind what we're doing. We got to fuck the people. Now the people are just going to fuck us. Oh, that's what happened. Trump has so many people behind him because he is all of the American people in one person put in a position where he can actually do something. Kind of like Elon on the social and cultural war aspect.
Yeah.
Like, that's why so many people like Elon, because he's in a position, it's like, listen, I can say what I want and I can do what I want because I'm the richest fucking person in the world and they're not going to touch me. Trump is that in politics. He was not supposed to be there at all. Everyone was saying he's going to lose. There's no way Trump's going to win. And then he won. Like, I sort of followed the 2016 election and he got in and I'm like, well, why not? This ought to be fun. And then he did good shit.
Yeah.
He surrounded himself with garbage, but for what he could do, he did good shit. And I'm like, all right, I'm on board. Let's see what else he can do. And then 2020 happened, that whole debacle, and here we are now. But everyone, if you say, I kind of like Trump, everyone's like, well, you're a racist. I'm like, this is just fucking garbage one-word things you're throwing out there just to get a reaction because you know that the people that follow you and what you're saying, as soon as you say he's a racist, they have no fucking idea who that person is or what they stand for or what they believe. There's like, all right, you're going to peg him with that? Then fuck that guy. And there's means it doesn't matter what they think or anything or what their actual core values are. You just peg them with a name and like, well, all right, well, let's all gang up on that guy.
Yeah.
Are they racist? No. Is Trump a shithead? Of course. Is he a racist? No. Why? Let's rewind 20, 30 years ago. All the fucking Democrats loved him because he was a Democrat.
God.
He was a Democrat, and they all fucking loved Trump. He was all over the place with everyone that calls him a racist now. Trump must have fucking forgot for all those years. Like, shit, what am I doing? I got to be a Republican because Republicans, I guess, are inherently racist. Fuck me. Sorry, guys, I forgot for fucking 30-some years.
Oh, my back is sorry.
But he is a reaction from the United States. Put this guy in office. And now so many people follow him. Like, more people follow him now because, like, yeah, like, we were doing well under Trump. The nation was doing well under Trump.
It really was.
And people realize that. And now I think the Democratic Party is they're doing everything in their power, which we've covered many times before.
Oh my
like,
God.
this is just leading up to this point. Like, they're doing everything in their power because they know it's like, fuck. Like, cat's out of the bag. We're fucking up. And everything they're doing now, like, it's like the people now are paying attention to what we are actually saying and how we are actually saying it. And be like, wow, these guys are fucking us. Big time. And they're, like, talking to us when you listen to a politician, like, do you listen to him like it's a person talking to you or like a fucking used car salesman?
Oh,
like in the back of your head's like, this person is fucking me.
Like they're trying to get something out of me.
Yeah. Like that's how that's how I listen to all of them.
Time is up.
30.
26.
And you know, what's actually kind of refreshing is Vivek Ramaswamy. Like, I've never seen a person in politics be able to talk like without script and just roll with the punches, and someone comes in and criticizes him, and then he's like, he listens and he responds intelligently.
Oh yeah.
Like, man, if Trump wasn't in, he would have my vote for sure. 100%. He might even get it.
Oh yeah. You're gonna give it to him, all right. Just like Will got it from his DJ Jez in my ass friend, Jeff. Not DJ Jazz, Jeff.
Another problem, too, with the Democratic Party going on, like, the whole Trump thing. Like, one of the reason why people are, like, on the Trump train, so to speak. You remember 2008 when Obama ran on change? We need change, right? The Bush administration was in. They're corrupt as corrupt can be. They're all oil and money and this. And, okay, that's politics. Obama comes in, young guy, whatever, running on change. I bought into a hook, line, and sinker. Fuck yeah. He gets in office, keeps all of Bush's policies, barely changes anything.
Mm-hmm.
Go through the recession, get out, 2011 starts campaigning. Now what happens? You can't say run on change because you fucking didn't do anything, so no one's going to buy into that. So what do? What's interesting is if you look in 2012, suddenly there's a spike in certain terms online. Transgender, gay marriage, and what's some other ones?
Gender dysphoria.
Yeah, like things of that nature. Like everything that's in the woke cult now. All of a sudden, all those terms start skyrocketing. So they start pushing that. Suddenly, in 2008, Obama was for or against gay marriage.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Biden was against gay marriage for the longest time. And then suddenly, in 2012 and then on, suddenly all of them are for it. All of them are for all this stuff. Now, this isn't like ragging on whether it's right or wrong. That's not my judgment. I don't give a shit. I'm pointing out what happened. Suddenly, online, all these terms and agendas started being pushed. You can't run on change, so we'll run on the culture war. And they started pushing, all you guys are held down and all this and that, and we need to legalize everything. So now, instead of this voter base, you switch over to this voter base. And now all of them get on board. Because now, not only do you have like just a racial segregated voter base, now you have a voter base that's all different races, all different ages, all different everything across the board, Republican, Democrat. Now they're polling from everybody. So now all these terms start skyrocketing. And then what comes out of that? The whole culture war, the whole woke thing. And now that culminated really last year, and now we're starting to come off of it. But with Disney, we were talking about before, every box they're checking for everything, double, triple, quadruple, 10, 100 times over, they just double down on everything. It's like, well, we're just going to keep going. It's like, stay the course. I'm like, you're fucking not even in the ocean anymore, buddy. Stay the course. You're not fucking moving.
How did we get on the moon? Stay the course. You really don't know how to be a captain, do you?
But yeah, so...
Stay the course?
There's more words, But that's what happens.
Port and starboard.
So they start moving on this whole woke thing because now that's their new voter base. And it's eventually that's going to come to a fact where all that group is going to look at them and be like, they're fucking us. It's like, well,
they're using us.
Well, yeah. Eventually, I think that the entire United States population will just all collectively look at each other, fucking finally, and go, you know what? It's not us that's the problem. It's them, being those in power. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, I would think anyway.
Hopefully soon.
Going along with that, The View had another special one.
Oh God.
So
what's new from the fucking?
There was one
cackling crew of fucking Carney.
I think it was Oprah that
Carney
said
Karens.
They I can't remember what news article they were talking about. They were just talking about how the Republicans always spread lies in the news and everything. Clearly with the vaccination thing and remember COVID, and that was all lies. And even though Fauci just recently came out and said the 6 feet thing just kind of materialized out of nowhere, there was no science behind it, and we're like, oh fuck, no shit. Along with the mask thing, but that's all hearsay now. We don't really talk about.
But Fauci said it, so it's okay.
So I think it was Whoopi that said it. I'm pretty sure it was Whoopi.
Karen Johnson, yeah.
No, maybe it was Joy. No, I think it was Joy Behar that said this one. She goes, they're all they do is spread lies and everything. It's like we need more outlets to just, we tell you the truth all the time. So just listen to us. And I saw that clip. I'm like, oh my God, please. I just think of all the times we've brought up The View on this show and be like, geez, and they just don't get it. Well, clearly they still don't get it. But that's a double-edged sword because, granted, there's a bunch of cackling crows in the audience that listen to the cackling crows on the stage, which is fun. But that gives us material to look at back and be like, well, they said something new. Like when Whoopi Goldberg said, well, I'm not saying that white people should get beaten up by cops, but maybe to get the point across, white people should be getting beaten up by cops. That's fun. Now, if anyone else said that about any other
Or
race,
that the Holocaust wasn't about race.
yeah.
And then, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be offensive. And then the next night, yeah, no, it's not about race. That bitch doubled down.
Yeah, she did double down that. And that was stunned. That was
It
one
was
of the,
not race. Sorry. Oh, it's overly race. It's overly not about race.
like Joy Behar's thing. I understand that. Like, she's dumb. So I get that. And the white people being beaten up, well, Whoopi's dumb. And that was pretty spicy. But the Holocaust, like, I don't think, now if you go by what Dave Chappelle says, and the whole Jewish thing in Hollywood, I don't think that's a group you really fuck with. Now, what do you say? If there's a group of Mexicans committing illegal things, that's a cartel. If it's a group of, Italians, like
It's the mafia.
Yeah, it's the mob. But if it's the Jews, it's just a coincidence. That's Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle. My man.
So, yeah. Oh, another one, Joy Behar, they were talking about an AR-15. This is during the whole gun thing. This might have been during the Rittenhouse thing. Yeah,
it was.
And they were talking about hunting with the AR. And someone said, it's like, well, yeah, you shoot him with the AR. And Joy Behar goes, well, then you wouldn't have any meat left because it would just obliterate them. Like it's a fucking machine gun from Rambo or some shit like that. I'm like, man, this is special. And what's special is the people in the audience have no fucking clue like they do. Sometimes I wonder if they do have a clue and they're just pandering to the people that are just fucking dumb.
Well, you remember when...
I won't even say dumb. Well, that's not fair. Just people that just really aren't in the know.
Do you remember when the whole AR thing really started? There was the news article where
Assault rifle?
The guy points a shotgun at a watermelon and see what this AR does to this watermelon.
Yeah, I do remember.
Boom!
Oh, bam!
Half of America was like...
Half of America that have read a book. Yeah, that have read a book.
Half of America that haven't slept with their cousin were literally able to go...
Well, if you go by the stereotype, that would have been the other way around, but...
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something right here.
Bobby Lee, hold on a minute. I gotta read this thing. Well, I can't read. Let's turn on the news. Where's Fox? Anyway.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so the AR-15. Oh, yeah, and then they made a Joy Behar before. Was talking. This is one of the last years. Like, inflation is down, the economy is good.
Oh, my
It was just a
God.
quick one-liner I wanted to throw in there. Like, you know, everyone's fine. Everyone's doing great. This has been said before. Biden said this before. He's like, you know, inflation's going down. And, like, we're starting to get on the incline. Like, mind you, inflation was at what point? A 9 point something or other. And then inflation's down. It's like at 8.8. It's like, we're in good shape. I'm like, what? Really? Because everybody that goes to the store kind of sees a different fucking reality.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could just stay in the White House basement and just... I don't even... What do you think he does in his downtime? All the time?
Masturbates a lot.
Do you think...
Hunter?
Is that why he's...
We're talking about Hunter?
No.
Oh.
Joe.
No, I don't. He probably doesn't even know what a dick is anymore.
I was going to say, do you think Joe does? Because that's why he always looks so confused, because he just comes out of a stupor of like...
Wait, what was I doing?
That's why he was standing on stage like this before. He was just like, I'm stiff.
One in each hand.
Yeah.
I'm still good for it. Who wants? You? I'll smell your earlobe. No?
I smell your earlobe.
You got the most lovely ears.
You got one of them. Never mind.
Did you ever hear that?
No.
Oh, my
What
God.
am I supposed to hear? Before you get
Joe
into-
Biden.
All right.
Go ahead.
Well, I thought you were going to bring up the whole Will Smith thing, but go ahead and bring up the whatever ears. Oh, here's something I'll read quick before you get into that. 60% of Act Blue funding, which is for the Democrats, comes from China. FCC investigation into money apparently laundered from various addresses through Act Blue Election Watch will be filing a complaint with the FEC and DC over the discrepancies and apparent fraud that has been taking place with all these donations, many of which are done through the home addresses of the elderly. That's right. You remember when James O'Keefe covered this? We were talking about, maybe like a year ago, we were talking about how a lot of people were making donations of like 15,000 here, 20,000 there, 5,000 here. And then when James O'Keefe went to these addresses and said, "Hey, have you ever donated to whatever?" And they said, "No." And I said, "Well, apparently you are. Did you make a $30,000 donation to whatever candidate?" And they're like, "No." Yeah, I think this is what this is. Now included in that lawsuit will be evidence of over 60% of the money involved in this apparently coming from China. The ACLU is feeding a lot of money to other PACs like Emily's List, Color of Change, PAC, just to name a few. Or PAC. What do you got?
I love your ears. I think they're really cool. He says that to a 6-year-old little girl during Thanksgiving. Friendsgiving dinner. This seemingly innocent comment quickly sparked controversy on social media, with viewers labeling the president's demeanor as creepy and disturbing. This is not the first time Biden has faced criticism for his interactions with children, as he has a history of making eyebrow-raising remarks and engaging in unconventional behavior. During the Friendsgiving event, where the Bidens served dinner alongside service members from the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower and the USS Gerald R. Ford, President Biden expressed his gratitude to the military families. "You literally are the backbone, the spine of this nation," he stated, acknowledging the sacrifices made by those deployed abroad. Despite the positive intent of the Thanksgiving event, social media users quickly seized upon Biden's remark to Catherine, reigniting discussions about his past interactions with young individuals. The incident adds to a list of controversial moments, including playful gestures like pretending to eat a child's ear during a summer event. Apparently, this motherfucker tried eating a kid.
Biden, stop gnawing on him. Throw him a piece of meat.
He just needs a bone.
But this is defended. And this is the fucking baffling part. This is defended. Like, how...
Oh, it's okay for 81-year-old people to bite on kids or commenting on their bodily features.
How do you defend this? How do you defend that?
You walk up to a 6-year-old right now in a public place and say, "I love your ears. They're cool." You're going to get either shot, stabbed, punched, or fucking arrested.
A wipe.
This guy does it, and it's our playful president, Uncle Joe. Get your fingers out of the kid, Uncle Joe.
Okay,
What?
so here's the question. You have to leave your youngest with one of them overnight. Joe Biden.
Michael Jackson. Time after time.
Good man. And so was Michael Jackson.
Yes. I don't have a head to tail right now, but I
really think he was set up. I don't believe in it.
Oh, absolutely.
No. And that's not because I'm like a huge fan. I think we brought this up actually in the last episode. I don't think he did anything.
No,
I really don't.
I
actually just happened to watch a short section of an interview earlier today about it, and he was the interviewer was like, "Do you sleep in the same bed of like a 8-year-old or 10-year-old, whatever it was?" I was like, "You think that's okay?" I was like, "Yeah, it's fine." And the thing with Michael Jackson is like looking right into her eyes, not like being aggressive, just answering the question, like being calm, like calm demeanor, and like, man, he's telling the truth. He was like, "Now, if you're talking," like Jackson goes, "If you're talking sexual, then you need to go to the whatever down the street." I was like, "But like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Like, these kids love me. They follow me everywhere. They want to be with me all the time." Like,
no, man, since 8 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
Jackson didn't have a childhood.
Mm.
And any way he could form a connection with any child, and I'm talking not physically, but emotionally, and
he was vicariously living through all those kids. Like, that's what he was doing. He was like, I missed out on mine. So what I can do is spend time with a bunch of these kids, give them this huge, like, playland, basically. It's like a McDonald's playland on steroids, Incredible Hulk level galore.
Red Hulk.
Yeah. And just let them... Yeah, but he was anyway. And just let them play, and then, yeah, live through them vicariously.
Red Raptor. Sorry.
Anyway.
I almost said Red Rocket. I meant to say Red Raptor.
That's inappropriate.
Red Raptor. I haven't played Brawl in a long time.
So, Yeah, I haven't either. I've been playing Star Wars a lot, but Will Smith.
Getting banged in the butt.
Yeah. Evidently. Allegedly. This, I don't know who it was.
So it was an assistant who... So if you listen to his side of the story, he literally paints you a very descriptive picture of walking into a room.
Before you go, full stop. When you imagine walking into the room, what color was the room?
Were the lights on or off?
I don't know. Just tell me what color the room was.
Black.
Do you envision a black room, but the people are illuminated like it's like the lights on?
Oh, like when I close my eyes and try to play this out in my head?
Yeah.
I really don't want to, but sure. I guess I could.
Because that's what I saw.
Two dudes banging.
The door opened, like all the walls, the ceiling, floor is
Like a
black.
spotlight.
And it's just
It's almost
them.
like an 80s sitcom show when they're having an inner monologue moment.
Yes. Like that's what I saw. I'm like,
Not the Fresh Prince. Not the Fresh Prince.
close the door, fucker. Go ahead with your story. Or
So the
retelling.
The assistant depicts this story very graphically of him walking in on Will Smith and I think it was a co-star or a producer or something like that.
It was definitely a co-star.
It was a co-star?
In whatever film they had.
They were making in the Senate that day.
The black leather couch.
The black casting couch.
It's like the big blue couch.
The black
Or the big comfy couch. That's
The
what
black fake driving school.
Yeah, this is pleather.
The black fake taxi.
Easier to clean.
The black Bang Bros bus. I'm not talking about a lot of these sub-channels.
Captain
on
Stabbin'.
Pornhub.
Continue.
So yeah, he walks in, catches Will Smith bent over, literally getting banged from behind.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently there's a little bit of a confusion. Oh, leave. Afterwards, he's offered...
Wait. Confusion. What's going on? Why am I here? Get out of there.
I guess the way he depicts it, like they almost acted like, oh my God, wait, what's going on? What happened? How did this... Like, yeah. What, you tripped and fell on his dick?
So, next question. Your youngest. Overnight with Will Smith? Or overnight with Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson.
Overnight Will Smith or Biden?
I'm throwing him in the river. Love my kid, but he's got a better chance of surviving.
Go tell him on the mountain.
He's got a better chance of surviving the Mohawk than he does a night with those two.
That's true. That's true. Jeez Louise.
So, and the worst part about it is, like, I guess, after everything was settled down, you know, he was like, you don't forget, you got to sign this contract. Sign this contract, no disclosure.
Disclosure.
In order to work for us, there's a full disclosure. You can't say anything about what you see or hear. We're going to give you all this money to work for us. And the guy's like, no.
Yeah.
Because I guess he had to. I guess it contained in this contract was like a lot of other stuff. He's like, I won't give you the details, but there's some pretty shady shit in there that it's like, that's not something I want to be involved with. So he backed out. And then Jada took to Will's defense. Man, this guy just trying to get money. He's just trying to do a shakedown. I mean, yeah, him and my husband had business dealings, during the time this supposedly happened, and that's yet to be resolved.
You have to finish yet?
Business dealings? What do you mean? He was his assistant.
The older we get and the more we pay attention, the more I pay attention anyway, I can only speak for myself, the more I really, I can't speak for you, but the more I really believe that Hollywood is just full of that. Just
oh my
crazy
God.
ass, like this almost cult level, crazy gay orgy business. You do this for me, I'll do that for you, and then like going home doing another circle jerks. Me describing it, it feels like it's just a movie. But man, the more shit that comes out.
Do you remember the Ninth Gate?
Added on with Epstein, that whole thing. I really think that this whole thing is all like Hollywood. That's what it is. Like Sound of Freedom is just part of the entire beast.
Do you remember the Ninth Gate with Johnny Depp?
Yeah, vaguely, yeah.
Where he's got to find all the pictures to open the door to like.
Isn't it the hell or something like that, or a different dimension? What the hell?
No, he brings like they open the gate to let the devil onto Earth or whatever.
Right.
Well, there's a scene earlier on in the movie where like there's this big orgy with all the black robes and all the stuff like that.
Right.
That's what I envision Hollywood behind closed doors.
Yeah, especially
where it's just Tom Hanks just sitting on the couch getting a blowjob from Brad Pitt while Jake Gyllenhaal is tossing Brad Pitt salad. And then Jennifer Aniston comes over and she offers her up her vagina to them three to literally put a finger into. They all have to put the finger in at the same time. So it's literally like, here's Tom Hanks' finger, here's Brad Pitt's finger, here's Jake Gyllenhaal's finger, and they all go in at the same time, and they have to turn counterclockwise.
1, 2, 3.
The third door.
With Bohemian Grove, like you add Bohemian Grove with the Epstein list, and now stories that are coming out more and more, think crazy ass stuff like this. Man, it gets to the point where it's like, is this really just all coincidence? And this many people making up these stories is like, there's got to be at least some truth in one of, if not all these. And if they're all true on some level, and you put them all together, yeah, man, Hollywood's fucking evil. Like, it's fucking crazy ass fucking evil. Like, it really is.
You want to make it here? You can make it anywhere.
But that's what it feels like. This feels like that's what Hollywood is. And then more names on the Epstein list came out. Yeah. And then, now all the names that we've listed before are on there. And one of the names on the list is redacted. And it says there's an article that names another, because Prince Charles is on it. And one of the names redacted, the name redacted, is listed as another prince. And some people are thinking it's the Prince of Saudi Arabia. That would be huge, because those actions in Saudi Arabia are very morally wrong. Very, like, homosexuality in Saudi Arabia is very
Oh, yeah, you still get stoned to death.
Yes. If the prince...
They put you in a room and fill you up with so much pot smoke, you die from being stoned.
If the prince is on the Epstein's list and was in any way part of that, that's huge. For
was
Saudi
it a boy
Arabia.
or was it a girl?
That's the thing, is the name's redacted, and there's people all over online looking at the size of the redaction and looking at like the name, like the placement of the letters and everything, trying to figure out like who could it be, what's the name. But it was listed as another prince, so that's what fits. Is like, it might be the Prince of Saudi Arabia. So that's, don't know, neither here nor there. But yeah, in conclusion, fuck Disney.
Fuck Disney up their stupid asses. What's that from?
Fuck Disney. The political.
What's that from?
I don't know.
Fuck something. Fuck them up their stupid asses. It's from a movie.
Maybe.
Hold on.
All right. We're going to hold before I wrap this up. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's the first word. Well, while you do that. Anyway, fuck Disney. The progressive left is completely insane. The political parties are in bed with each other. And I think Hollywood's fucking crazy-ass evil.
I wouldn't say progressive left. I'd say superimposed woke left.
That's progressive. There's libertarian left, and then there's progressive left. And then there's the extremists.
Tomato, tomato.
But everyone knows they're fucking crazy. They're the ones that are pushing for the pedo flag and everything. That's crazy. And our borders are open.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Of course it was.
But fuck Jay and Silent Bob. Fuck them up their stupid asses. This is for all you motherfuckers out there. We're going to Hollywood. We're going to make them eat our shit. And then we're going to eat their shit and shit out the shit that we made them eat. And then we're going to eat their shit and shit our shit that they made up of their shit back into them.
Which is made of meat.
Movies.
And that's how we end it. And the same sound that started it. Bye.